Well, hi there. I just got a question in the group about planetary hours and the houses and if those are related. And the short answer is no. So we've talked about some of the problems with astrology in the magical worldview. One of them being horary astrology, which is whenever I need to use astrology to find the answer to a question. If I know what the stars are doing at any given time, then I know before I know to wait to cast the chart to ask my question to try to influence the answer I'm going to get, right? And that's not a very useful thing to do. No, uh, you're not going to get accurate results. Now, the whole point of a magical worldview is that we might want to use the stars to change a situation, right? So right now, this image I have up here on the screen is an image of where the stars are at more or less right now based on my location. So one of the big things we're dealing with at this period, and this is true for everyone, is that Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, and the Moon are all in Capricorn. Now, the Moon is, as we talked about, is really fast. It's about to leave there, and the Moon is considered one of the most magical planets, if not the most, because it, again, is that bridge between the planetary world and the elemental world where we are, right? Or the celestial world and our world. So the timing of the moon and where it is and what it's doing is a big part of how we were magicians would use astrology in their magic. But if I had a situation where I needed to use, say, Jupiter magic right now, this is a terrible time for that because, as we talked about in our essential dignities table, in Capricorn, Saturn is the ruler, so this is a really good time for like isolation and separating stuff. But both the moon is in its fall or in its adversity, and Jupiter is depressed right now. So if I was trying to do some type of Jupiter magic to, Jupiter being the greater benefic, right? So if I was doing some type of that, so if I was looking for like a government payout or something like that, this would be a terrible time to do anything like that, settle a court case, anything like that. And so what's a magician to do? And the answer to that is planetary hours. So that doctrine, and that goes right back to the grimoire tradition. And if I'm not mistaken, its roots can be found in the PGM. I'm just threw this presentation together real fast just to answer this one question. But planetary hours, the way that doctrine or that concept works is, okay, the stars themselves are crap for what I'm trying to do, but Jupiter still rules 1 day a week, and he still rules 1 day, or I'm sorry, 1 hour at least every single day. And it's actually 2 hours at least, one in the morning, or one in the daylight and one in the nighttime, and then one in, and then depending on the day of the week, he might get 2 or so in there. So what I went ahead and did is I just went out. This is from astrology.com. They have a planetary hour calculator. I actually have an app on my phone. I think it was $3 to buy for the paid version, and it includes a little widget and a little notification. I can set alarms for certain certain configurations. So right now, for my location, Sunday, right? So it's the day of the sun, and Mercury is the ruler. So that tells me who's in charge of this specific moment right now. So if I needed to do something Jupiterian, something where Jupiter is going to be involved, I might have wanted to schedule it for, say, noonish my time, right? So at 12:09 is when Jupiter was ruling, and Jupiter prefers being matched with the sun. We didn't go into the sect doctrine, but basically Jupiter and Saturn are diurnal planets, or they're daytime planets, so they like the sun, whereas Venus and Mars are nocturnal planets, and they like the moon more. This directly corresponds to that greater and lesser benefic and malefic thing we were talking about. Anyway, but I just wanted to show. So the other thing is, I could wait if I just was worried about what the moon was doing. I could do something here at this period. So this is an alternate way of, like, if I'm someone who is working with a family, has all kinds of obligations to the outside world, obviously most of us work a full-time job, the perfect ritual time, according to astrology, might not happen when you need it to. So you switch to planetary hours for your timing method, and you figure out which planets are going to be in charge. And that was the solution that the ancients came up with for using the planets when they weren't right. So that old saying, the stars are right. Well, the stars aren't always right. So how do we work with them when they're not there? So that just a couple more details. You can find all of this information online. I'm not going to bother linking to anything else, but the first hour of sunrise, it's always counted from sunrise to sunset, and then the next 12 hours are all of that stuff. So Sunday, according to planetary hours, technically didn't start until 5:57 this morning. At 5:56 this morning, it was still Saturday. So Saturn was the ruler up until that point. And the first hour is always controlled by the ruler for that day, and the pattern is more or less the same for every single day and night. So anyway, I just wanted to share that little bit of information, since there's a question about planetary hours. Obviously, I'm not getting really into it, but this is the rationale for why it was used. Hope that was helpful, and we'll see you all next weekend.